Hey everybody, welcome back to my non-alcoholic beer and gin review series. Today is day 37. For those of you maybe just joining us, this was my New Year's resolution, not to have anything to drink for the month of January. And to make it fun, I thought I would try a different non-alcoholic beer and gin each day. Well, we made it all of January and we still have a ton of beers to go through, so we rolled it over into dry February and we're just going to keep going with things. Now, originally I had planned that I would save up all the stouts, kind of dark beers, and maybe do kind of a showdown with them, similar to how we did the gins. But the more I thought about it, sitting here, even though they're not alcoholic, sitting here and drinking, like we have quite a few, drinking that many beers all together, I would be just so bloated and it would be such a waste of beer. So we're just going to work them into the mix the same as we do all the rest of them. So today we're going to start off with the Black IPA, kind of a different style. This is from Sober Carpenter. It is a limited edition, but it is still available on the Sober Carpenter website and also on upsidedrinks.ca. Interestingly enough, it's cheaper on Upside than it is on the Sober Carpenter. So their limited series is something they've said they've kind of let their brewmaster do some unique and interesting things. So this is supposed to have sort of the hoppiness of an IPA, the citrusy notes of an IPA, but then combined with the chocolatey, malty notes of a stout. So sounds like an interesting combination. Calorie-wise, we have 60 calories. Ingredients are water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Interesting. I'm surprised there's no oats for a stout. It does list the malts and hops. So malts, we have two-row, Carafa 2, chocolate, and dextrin. And hops is Amarillo, Magnum, and Mosaic. Mosaic is usually one that gives you the fruity sort of tones in a hazy IPA. And it lists an IBU of 34, which is fairly low for an IPA. Sober Carpenter, if you haven't heard of them, they're based out of Montreal, Quebec. Great company, make a good variety of beers. So let's give this one a shot. So nice dark brown beige, chocolatey sort of colored head. Fairly large bubble though. You can see it is, it's dissipating at a medium speed, but it's mostly that higher carbonation, larger bubble we see in a number of non-alcoholic beers. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll try the nose on that one. Yeah, chocolate. It smells like a stout. Chocolate, coffee, caramel, really nice nose. Not picking up a particular amount of hops or any sort of citrusy notes like it was saying. We'll check the can, see if we get anything else out of that. A little bit of pencil lead, oddly enough. Not picking up much hops notes, much citrusy notes like they were saying, but oh, there's a little bit of citrus, lemon sort of citrus notes. Just after I let it sit there. That's interesting. Give it a really good agitation here. Yeah, they're a little more subtle, and it's hard to kind of pick them up past the heavier chocolatey malt notes. Yeah, nice nose though. I quite like that. Okay, let's go in for that taste. Cheers. Now that is interesting. So you get a coffee flavor, a bit of chocolate, but you definitely get a citrusy sort of note in there too. It's almost like, I don't know if you've had some lighter roast coffees that have that sort of citrusy flavor in them. It's got similar sort of things going on to that. Yeah, a little chocolate, but definitely more coffee and some citrus, sort of lemon notes. There's a little bit of hops bitterness on the finish, but it's certainly not overpowering. It doesn't mess too much with the idea that it's, you know, that your eyes are looking at it and it looks like a stout. The only thing that's throwing me off a little bit compared to a alcoholic stout is the mouthfeel. So a stout is usually kind of a nice, thick, creamy consistency in your mouth. Well, not super thick, but you know what I mean, compared to a normal beer. Yeah, and the bubble is also a little big on this. It's a little, not big, it's just a lot of it. It's fairly heavily carbonated. You get it in your mouth and you can kind of get that explosion of carbonation. Yeah, but when you bring some air in it, you get the citrus notes more. You get more of a bitterness on the finish. It's a really interesting beer. I quite like it. I would definitely buy that again. That was $3.45 on Upside. Comes in a 12 pack, I think, on Sober Carpenter. And it actually works out to slightly more per can. Don't ask me why. So rating wise, what are we going to give that? Very unique, very different. I have to think how we're going to score it because it's kind of in its own little world here. And it'll compare more to the rest of the stouts. I think we're going to give that an 8.9. Just because it's so unique. It's got such interesting flavors coming out of it. I would score it higher if it had a little bit better body mouthfeel to it. But other than that, there's not a lot really wrong with it. It's a good quality beer in a very unique style. So quite pleased with that. Wish I had more than just a single can. But yeah, it's a limited edition, like I said. So if you want to go and pick it up, I would get on top of that before they run out. And I'm curious to see what their next limited edition is going to be. So that's it for tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 38.